all that confusion. And first of all, I want to tell you, I'm a huge, huge fan all the way back to Feast, and I'm a massive Saw fan. Like me and my wife, like break Saw down, and we love all the stuff we've ever done. So
Right on. Thank you.
this alone is like a massive honor to get to speak with you, and
Hey,
I haven't.
this is our honor. Like you're getting the word out, and it's critical. It's lifeblood. So thank you.
Well, and I have a specific question. My wife will kill me if I don't ask before we leave, but we got
Sure,
to talk about your new film first.
you got
Um,
it.
and first of all, I had a blast with the film.
Thank
And
you.
I just wonder where did this? I know a lot of times you write your own films, you do a lot of this your own work and stuff. Where did this one come about?
Well, speaking of Saw, Kevin Greuter was the original director on this. And when Saw 10, their production timeline advanced, then this one was still coming together. He nominated me. And so I went in and auditioned to be the director, and it worked out. So that is how I jumped in. And it was also courtesy of reading Josh Sims and Jessica Seraflom's screenplay. And I liked what scared me about it. This was a murder mystery. I've been a participant in the we know what's doing it and when are they going to do it. But this, a genuine whodunit with these wonderful layered characters, with a twist I did not see coming. And it had a heart. And I thought, okay, I want to see if I can protect this.
Awesome. So when you go into a film like this, because you've gone from the complexity of the Saw franchise and the traps and that kind of stuff,
Sure.
but you also have like the Feast movies, which are practical monster creature effects, and now you're in this one. It's got that slasher mystery element, but it's also really the human element, and you don't get a
Yes.
lot of those outside fantastical things to kind of rely on. How hard is it to try to still build that tension and direct each of these characters that are so vastly different, but still keep that cohesive story?
I mean, it's a challenge, but you know what makes it easier? A tremendous cast. And so when you have Jade Pettyjohn, who is just a galvanizing force and is only like in her early 20s and has 10 years of experience, and oh, that experience happens to coalesce with working with Jojo Siwa on the show School of Rock. You see a relationship, a friendship instantly reform and set a wonderful tone. And then I wanted to enter the fray with a couple of ringers, a couple of folks I could count on, and that would be Peter Giles, who plays our Slick Rick, who I love having him in there. I love having his voice, not only like organically have that wonderful voice, but I always like him to say something about the movie within the movie in the way. And I know I can build a trailer narrative about a character if Peter's playing him. Then there's Michaela Russell, who I've worked with now, Peter and Michaela now, I think 4 times each. And Michaela, not only you can throw any type of scene her way, and there's a marvelous actor there, but she took on a producing role with this and produced 33 original songs
Oh
that make
wow.
up an entire character of this movie, which is the way it sounds, with how it gets into the mind and into the sternum for the beats per minute feel. And this had to punch quick with the cuts. And that's where, we get into our cast that was based in Vancouver. So Ali Fumiko Whitney lives in New York, but I count her as kind of a co-Vancouverian because she would be up there. A marvelous performer, gifted with humor and horror. Jennifer Enns, who was so doggone good and nimble with tone, we just kept finding things. All of this is a courtesy, taking a break from naming cast, to Kirk Shaw and Stephanie Rennie, who allowed us to shoot in order. So then by the time Cardi Wong, Justin Derrickson, Jack Dope Smith, Julian Haig, along with Jennifer, along with Jojo, along with Jade, along with Michaela, along with, we just had a way to keep things optimistic, moving forward, and could find them, because the murder mystery allows you to do something that a traditional, there's the masked killer and the body count, doesn't. If you need red herrings, you need to spend time with them, just a little bit of time. Give
Yeah.
them complexity, give them what will make us suspicious or hopeful, or like, no, couldn't be that person. Great. And I love that Jade, as a performer, she's an outsider to this group. And we learned that this group of air quote friends might be frenemies, have some genuine darkness about them. And I love that with Jade, you've got like this stalwart soul in there who also has layers that will come off as unexpected. And then I must beg the audience, if you are, we would so love you to see our movie on the big screen. Stay through the credits.
Oh yes.
You don't stop twisting the knife until the last image flickers out.
Yeah, I told my wife because we do a YouTube show as well, so we'll review it when it's closer. And so
Thank
I
you.
sent the link. I said I need you to watch it so we can discuss it. But I said stay through the credits because I sat and watched all of them,
Thank you.
and that is going to work into a question I had in a second. But one of the things that I always wonder on making a film like this, because this one is, even though, like I said, it is that slasher thing, it's really that murder mystery, whodunit mentality. You also have kind of the cliched type characters of the genre where you have the cute girl and you got the stoner type guy and you get the goofy one and the innocent one, all those. How hard is it as a director and trying to be original with what you're creating? You have the story, but
Mhm.
to make sure you don't fall into those tropes of okay, it's just another of this same thing.
Mhm.
And yeah, but there's a twist, but everything else is, and they watch it and they're like, this is the same crap. The twist is different, but everything else is.
Certainly. And it's a terrific question. I'm grateful you asked it because I wanted those tropes. I wanted to be so uppercase with those tropes. Why? Because it left the door open to then surprise with what happens. So in particular, the stoner, the humor character. Now, if it wasn't for Jack Dope Smith playing the role of Guy, he has an untraditional entire scene with no other principal, and you'll know it when you see the movie. He has one with a squirrel. And he sits there and we spend time with this person. And yeah, there's humor, there's psychedelia, there's something. And it just creates a bit of gangly to us where I think I found a human moment that I could relate to in every single character. And sometimes the noise and the bluster of the world, you just want to sit in silence in the dark. And wouldn't you know, that's when this guy might become a little bit vulnerable because
Right.
his back's to the world, his back's to the darkness. So, yes, we needed the tropes, we needed the expectations to subvert them. Because
Yeah.
as soon as we begin to know these characters and their secrets, we realize that maybe this projection that they have, maybe
Yeah.
they've signed up to be the trope. They've told their phone and their followers they're the trope.
Yeah.
I'm I'm vain, I'm this, I'm fancy. No, you're not. You're
Right.
vulnerable. You're broken. You have secrets. You have something to you. You have anger. And wouldn't you know, it's the horror movie that shows up to that world, takes those tropes and go, before you go, if you go, you're going to know who you really are because I've known all along.
Awesome. Well, before I run out of time, I'll get my last couple of questions in. The first one is because of, I'm going to say it without spoiling it on the way in case I don't edit this down.
Yep.
The way it does have the ending, it does lend itself, like a lot of horror type films, to some open ending options.
Yes.
Is there plans in the work? And I know a lot of it has to do with how well it does and that stuff, but is there a hope and a plan to continue this as some faction? Or is it hopes to just kind of let's just have this and then we'll figure it out later?
When when one is so fortunate to have something like this come together the way it has, you definitely want to keep any door open to keep on going. So that would be an absolute joy and privilege if we could. And to your point, it's entirely based on success. So if this is regarded and it's warmly embraced as we hope it is, August 2nd, please see it in the theater and stay in your
Oh,
seat
yeah.
for the final scares. Uh, there we go. We can do it.
Awesome. So my question, I have to get in this, and I'm sure you probably know where this is going to go. Uh, Me and my wife, outside of loving your feast movies and the Saw movies, we love The Collector.
Oh,
Oh my God. And let me tell you, I was at Texas Frightmare
okay.
when you announced doing The Collector and showed that teaser trailer
Oh,
concept,
yeah.
because I met you there and got my Feast DVD signed, and so it was all the way back that I had fell in love with before the movie was even being made yet. I think you just did that concept trailer,
Yes.
and we love them both. And I know there was work on a third one,
Yep.
and I believe during some issues, or I don't know how much truth to it is. Is the third one still ever going to happen, or is it done now because of all the stuff that's supposedly happened?
Less than 24 hours ago, after 5 years of legal untangling, the collector is free. The collector is coming back. An announcement's forthcoming. But yeah, we're going to light a freight train on fire and send it to your mind. We're coming back scary, hard, and loud.
Oh my God. You do not know how happy this makes me. I don't think I've been that affected when I read an article about some stuff being stolen or some stuff that happened, some
Oh,
investors that happened. I don't know all of it. Obviously, I'm not there, but you see all the news and I'm like, what do you mean you can't be filming it and it goes away? And I've been waiting for this. This is like, you know, it really hurt my heart because I've been following your career since that feast, and I love everything. And we
Telling me,
watched.
brother.
So my wife came in here right before this started and said, "Don't forget to ask the collector question."
Thank you for doing so. Like on my way into an interview yesterday, like I had just, just found out, and I'm like saying, like, what can I say? What can I do? And I'm like,
Right,
and it's like,
right.
just raise your expectations. We're coming.
I fully expect you to say, "Well, I can't really talk about it," and then really just kind of
No.
let it die. So I got my heart rate shot up. I didn't expect to get that good of an answer.
Yes.
Now, is it still going to be the collector, the collection, and the collected, or we don't know yet?
That's the one thing is like, really want to take advantage and see like just what's the best way to really calibrate this, because the story and et cetera, like, hey man, no worry, we're not making anything unless it can be the best thing.
Right.
So it's when it comes to a title, and I want to directly reference how I thought Scream was so clever, where it can be so long, you can call Halloween Halloween again, and it can
Yeah,
be
yeah.
so long, you can call Scream Scream again. Well, I want to tell you a quick humorous story. When we were doing the collection, every time we try to reach cast and crew and it said on their phone collection, no one would answer it because they thought it was like the IRS. So I was like, be very careful what we do. So if it says collector again, okay, cool. Like maybe people like, no, no, no. We're that movie. We're not some agency looking to arrest you.
Awesome. That's great. Man, I greatly appreciate it. I don't want to get yelled at and take out. I know you have other interviews to do, but man, I'm a huge fan. I'm so happy I got to speak with you today, and it's a true honor.
Bobby, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And thanks to you.
When I
August
see
15
when I
minutes.
see your name on it, I will watch it no matter what it is.
Thank
So
you. Well, hey, man, you know what? That encourages us to keep doing our doggone best, so it is worth that. Thank
awesome.
you.
Thank you so much, man. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I can't wait to hopefully speak to you again when that third one comes out.
Yes, please. Yes.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man. Have a wonderful day.
You too.